Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tomah, Wisconsin, the Budweiser Dairyland Super Nationals.
As we get ready for session 3 this evening, very special portion of our evening await you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to session 3. Our salute to the military this evening and celebrating 250 years of America. The honor of men and women who have served and continue to serve our nation. Before we fire the engine, begin tonight's polling, let's invite everyone to join us for a special moment as we honor the men and women who have served and continue to serve our country. For 2.5 centuries, generations of Americans have answered the call to protect our freedoms and defend the values that make our country strong. Tonight, at the Budweiser Dairyland Super Truck and Tractor Pull, we proudly recognize our veterans, active duty military members, National Guard, and Reserve personnel, our motorcycle parade.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please, the van that is the center of our track. Right now, our veterans are coming out. They'd like to be in place before we start our motorcycle parade. So again, ladies and gentlemen, just a few moments here as our veterans come out. And you can see our Tomah crew is helping them come out as well, as our members of our armed forces who've served our country, as well as many of you in the grandstands. Our salute to the military is tonight. And before we get started with our motorcycle parade, because the rumble will be pretty intense, I will tell you this, that our motorcycle parade we have our veterans that are here, and our motorcycle parade is led by the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association Wisconsin 45-4 as we get set to hear the thunder. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming the Tomah VA honorary dignitaries in our salute to the motorcycle parade. These distinguished veterans represent the proud legacy of service and sacrifice honored each day through the Tomah VA Medical Center. To our country and fellow veterans embodies the spirit of today's celebration. Please give these honored veterans a heartfelt round of applause here at Tomah. And our thanks to the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association for organizing our motorcycle salute. We have some very special guests here, ladies and gentlemen. And every year we do this, these are the folks right here that are not the title, but the representation of the men and women in our armed forces. They stand here representing everyone under their command, and by being here and joining us for our armed forces that are deployed throughout the entire world. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome tonight Cameron Pentland, the Deputy to the Garrison Commander at Fort McCoy. A graduate of the United States Military Academy, he's earned a master's degree from Central Michigan and the United States Army War College. Please welcome the Deputy to Garrison Commander, Cameron Kent. We have with us tonight also Command Sergeant Major James Riddle. He assumed the duties as the Garrison Command Sergeant Major at Fort McCoy several years ago. He holds degrees from the University of Louisville and is a proud Washburn Ichabod. And ladies and gentlemen, joining us here tonight is Shayla Baez Ramirez, our Garrison Commander. Welcome. Thank you for your service and all those that you represent.
Thank you. So I have a couple of words. We are honored tonight to welcome all the veterans here to this wonderful event. Tonight we celebrate military to service, to all of our service members, to all of our veterans and military families. Thank you for your selfless service and contributions to our nation and our community. To all, today is a big milestone as we celebrate 50 years of a national event. 5 decades where Tomah have bring together thousands of people to the tractor field. Tonight, we value the partnership that we have with this community. Lastly, we'd like to celebrate what we have here tonight, the community, the partnership, and the way ahead and together. Thank you, and enjoy the party.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please, another round of applause. We appreciate it. Thank you, Commander.
I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over institutions of learning. I stand guard with power in the world. Look up and see me. For I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident. I am arrogant. I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshiped. I am saluted. I am loved. I am revered. I am respected, and I am feared. I have fought in every battle and every war for more than 200 years. I was flown at Valley Forge, Gettysburg, Shiloh, and Appomattox. I was there at San Juan, the trenches of France, Argonne National Forest, and Anzio, Rome, and the beaches of Normandy. Guam, Okinawa, Korea, Saigon, Vietnam know me. I was there. I led my troops. I was dirty, battle-worn, and tired, but my soldiers cheered me, and I was proud. I have been burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries I have set free. It does not hurt, for I am invincible. I have been soiled upon, burned, torn, and trampled in the streets of my country. And when it's done by those whom I've served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth and stood watch over the uncharted frontiers of space from my vantage point on the moon. I have borne silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hours are yet to come. When I am torn into strips and used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the battlefield, when I am blown at half-mast to honor my soldier, when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving parent, the grave of their fallen son or daughter, I am proud. I am the flag of the United States of America.
I wore the uniform, not for glory, not for medals, not for fame. I wore it for the ones beside me and for the... I stood in silence in distant lands, felt the weight of duty's call. I didn't ask for thanks or titles. I just did my part. That's all. I am a soldier, a sailor, an airman, a Marine. Not one, but part of a greater scene. And through the years may take their toll, I wore the uniform, and it shaped my soul.
We celebrate the 4th of July next weekend. The flag flies here on the grounds, Monroe County. Our flag has flown over all types of events for 250 years. Stars were added to the U.S. As the flag grew, so did the country. It's flown over wars and celebrations. Around the world, the red, white, and blue is recognized as people stand as we do here this evening. Remember, freedom is not free. We live in the land of the free because it is the home of the brave. We are gathered this evening because of the actions of one group, our veterans. To our veterans, we say thank you. To those who are newly home from deployment, welcome home. to the families of men and women serving around the world and here at home. Know that we wait with you and we pray with you for their safe return. Let us never, ever forget, but let us forever remember. For it is the veteran that salutes the flag. Sadly, it is the veteran that sleeps beneath it. All gave some, but some gave all. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, our presentation of colors tonight was performed by the 732 Combat Sustainment Support Battalion of the Tomah Armory. The 732nd just recently got back in October of last year from a year-long deployment overseas in support of Operation Inherent Resolve. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome PFT Peterson, SFC Albrecht, and Captain Wright for our presentation of colors, and welcome home.
A big thank you to all of our motorcyclers. You are dismissed. Thank you for coming. God bless America.
And thank you to our Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association for all of their assistance, ladies and gentlemen. and gentlemen, our Armed Forces medley coming through there. And again, we'd like to say a very special welcome to all of our veterans. And for those of you that may be in active duty, that are serving and maybe on a little break, a little leave, thank you for your service. Godspeed in all that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight it is Friday night in Tomah. On our grandstand track, we will have our light modifieds, our super stock diesel four-wheel drive trucks, the unlimited modifieds, our super semis, and our pro stock 4.1 tractors. On the infield track, only two classes, but they are mighty. Super Farm and Pro Stock. So tonight, we are going to throw a little smoke in just about every single category, with the exception of light modifieds. The light modifieds will make up for it in just bringing down the thunder and bringing down the noise. We welcome you tonight to Tomah, Wisconsin. So happy you're here. My name's Doc Riley. Alan Washburn will be along. Miles Krieger is here. Also, Dan and Charles are here. Tonight, we are shooting for just two separate functions. The RFD TV series, 26 weeks. That's the folks in the red shirts, the AP production crew. You'll also see our full live camera and tech crew running around here tonight, providing everything for our live stream. Good evening and welcome to those of you that are not in Tomah but enjoying tonight's broadcast. We can tell you it's 70 degrees. Probably not going to get much cooler. Last night, temperatures down in the 60s. And boy, did we create some horsepower last night. But tonight, a light breeze is here. It's Tomah the way I remember it back in 1990. I know some of you are here because those were the days of the Copenhagen School pulling circuit. I'm so happy that many of you folks are here. It's good to see new friends and old friends. And if you're just visiting for Tomah for the very first time and you don't know how everything works, we'll walk you through the process. It ain't too tough. Also, we'll tell you that you can go to visittomah.com and they've got all the suggestions and all the things you need to go. I would like to ask us one little favor, ladies and gentlemen. Our veterans, our distinguished veterans, have been loaded into the van. They'll be leaving shortly. And as they make their way out, let's pay them off with a little bit of applause. Hold off for right now. But once that van starts moving, ladies and gentlemen, let's just do a nice send-off to our distinguished veterans. And we thank all of you tonight for the respect that you showed our veterans, for standing. And for those of you veterans that still were wearing cover and saluting, yes, that is appropriate, and yes, that should be done. So ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Tomah. We don't ask for very much, but just this one little thing. Our track grooming will start to take place here, and then we're going to unleash a whole lot of horsepower coming your way. All happening as we enter 51 years of the Budweiser Dairyland Super Nationals. Points are on the line for our NTPA competitors running either the Grand National or the Regional National Circuit as well. And ladies and gentlemen, if you would please, how about a nice round of applause? Thank you, veterans. Have a safe ride. And ladies and gentlemen, about time to get ready to unleash the power that is Tomah. You'll feel the power, you'll hear the nose. Good-looking competitors as they get set to strap in and go. Light modifieds and super farms will kick things off, and here tonight, the test hook is powered by science and brought to you by Hot Shot Secrets. And honestly, every single product they formulate, they get research and development. And when they first started here, they spent a lot of time and had engineers in the field looking at what they could do to make their products fit to the world of truck and tractor pulling. Every product is lab formulated, dyno tested, and track proven. And shortly, it'll be time for the track proven portion and our test hook tonight. Alan, I tell you what, the vibe is right. Good crowd tonight. Temperature's right. It's just all up to the pullers now. I mean, it's just all up to the pullers.
Exactly right. We're looking forward to quite the evening. A big appreciation to everyone that made their way here. Motorcycles galore, and it's such a pleasure to see that red, white, and blue fly on the backside of every single motorcycle in here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate that. You're right, Doc. It's a good evening for competition. Light mods will be our first class on the grandstand here in just a minute. The light modified brought to us by Meadow Valley Log Homes. We appreciate that from Tomah's standpoint. Miles Krieger, good to see you, sir. Front and center with us. Good to have you down there. Ready to go as always.
Well, thank you, Alan. Thank you, Doc, Dan, and Charles. It's awesome to get to work with you at an event like this, and obviously a Friday night that is filled with variety. If you don't find something you like in tractor pulling tonight, you probably won't find something you like. We've got a little bit of everything coming your way here this evening. So we hope that you just sit back, relax, and enjoy a beautiful day. Well, probably I've been coming here for, this is year number 14, I think, for me, 13 or 14 for me here in Tomah. And this has to be one of the best days we've had in terms of just amazing weather. So track was great this afternoon. We had 5 awesome classes of competition here, and tonight we bring you 7 classes of competition as part of the Budweiser Dairyland Super National here in Tomah, Wisconsin. So looking forward to it. Sit back, relax. We're going to have some fun.
A little quick dressing on the track since we had some wheel tracks out there that were not planned on, but we were ready for it anyway. We'll get that taken care of. First track to come to life, well, we'll find out because they're both poised for action. We'll see what they decide to do. Super Farm will start on the infield track tonight. Super Farm, Doc's going to he's going to take it. He's going to start with that class anyway. Maybe a little help as we go through. The light modifieds are on the grandstand side. There's only 10 of those this evening. We'll be ready to go with that. So everything has been tested. We've had both sleds. Those of you that were here early, watch the sleds coming down the track. We've got both of them tested. Everything works. We're set and ready to go. What we don't know is whether the sled setting is right. With the track conditions that we have, that's why we have a test puller. That works out real well. Hot Shot Secret stepped up and said, thank you. We can sponsor that. We'll sponsor the test hook. Okay? We'll find out. These guys set these sleds pretty low, pretty close. They don't, very seldom do we have to reset anything. So we'll see what happens. Hot Shot Secrets is doing us a great job. They've helped us out a lot. We appreciate it.
One of the things that always amazes me is how well our Iron Man crew performs with the sleds and how close they are every time. Once in a while, they very rarely, I think we've only seen it once or twice here this weekend in the test hook category, they'll have someone that lays down an incredible pass or has a problem. I think in the situations here, someone's had a problem, so it hasn't been too bad. But when they set it back up, well, they're just about where you want everyone to be. Tonight's Super Farms brought to you by High Torque. Perhaps you're going to fire up that old Ford 2N, 8N, or 9N tractor, or maybe that Minneapolis Moline, or even an Alice Chalmers to till the back 40. Keep High Torque starters in mind should you need a starter replacement. These are brand new Denso products to replace some of those old, difficult to locate or rebuild applications. High Torque starters, honored to be the NTPA Super Farm sponsor. Travis Schwallow will have the honor of being that test hook here on the infield side in the Runnin' Wild. And in our Super Farm class, we got us a big one here, as we have 27 set to roll onto the track. Travis brings his big, beautiful ride onto the track. And for this afternoon session, boy, did we blow some smoke and do we have some great diesel action. David Batliner will be our first, Floyd's Knob, Indiana, Super Hick. He will be our test puller here, as Travis not able to make the call in the Runnin' Wild. So Dave Batliner will have the honor of being our test hook.
Yeah, glad to have the new Massey Ferguson out of Boyd's Knobs, Indiana, here trackside with us in the infield side. These guys have just been so loyal to the Massey Ferguson brand throughout. You go back into the archives and the roots of their pulling history, and it has always been right here with Massey Ferguson. Floyd's Knobs just outside of Louisville, Kentucky, and he does draw the option here tonight. David Batliner coming your way.
Mr. Batliner made that look easy. Now, the determination. Will he take it, drop? Are they going to look at the sled setting? We'll have all of that coming your way in just a moment. Our Super Farms, 9,300 pounds, 640 cubic inches. Got to run that original ag-type head. A maximum of 3-inch inlet and outlet. No intercoolers or aftercoolers. 320.805. 320.805 in our test hook here on the High Torque Super Farm side. 328.05. He's going to take that hook. So we may be very, very close because he's a guy whose word you would trust. He's going to take the 320 hook.
Light modified will start on the grandstand side with Chase Richardson. Litchfield, Kentucky, the hometown boy, with a tag team machine in the light modified. 6,200 pounds total machine. We can do that by taking engines off, and that's exactly what we've done for most of what you're going to see here this evening for this particular class of 10 light modified. The rules are very simple. Usually, if you can scale it, you can probably run it. Well, when you design the motors the way they have these, you can put them on, and as long as you're under 6,200 pounds, your light modified is good to go. 20-inch drawbar, we'll talk about that later if we have a minute. But Chase Richardson is our test hook. Roll him up tight on the chain. Everything has to start with a tight chain. We'll find out how he gets along. Chase is our test hook. Sponsored by Science. Well, he shows us what he's made out of very, very quickly right there. Chase Richardson, Litchfield, Kentucky tag team. He picks up 2 awards here with that pass, but he got a full pull at 355, so he's going to get a second notification from Hot Shot Secret. Both his test hook and has full pull. Chase Richardson, 355.025. He said, I'll take that. I think I would too. He accepts.
G-Tech Gutters. G-Tech Seamless Gutters provide meticulous craftsmanship as West Central Wisconsin's premier seamless gutter installer. Their team serves customers from Austin to Chippewa Falls, La Crosse, Tomah, and all areas in between. Veteran-owned and operated. Our thanks to G-Tech Gutters. On the way next, here comes Andy Kays, Burlington, Wisconsin, the Blue Bayou. He's going to get snuffed out right there. The old Ironman box comes up, so I think you could say Batliner had the win there, but Andy Kays will take the loss if you're going against the sled. Great looking track to the Blue Bayou. Great heritage there, but not enough right now. 307.08. 307.08. Brad Hart out of Clayton, Michigan will be next up in the Don't Ask ride. As our high-tech super farms, we can look through there and see an awful lot of people that have collected hardware at the end of season. If you're new to Tomah, Wisconsin, and NTPA pulling, they're competing here for a purse check in each session. We take the combined average of their finish in both times they get to hook here, and that becomes your weekend winner. That's big. You win at Tomah, it's big. For many people, to compete here at Tomah is big. You win the weekend, well, that's almost legendary status. You do that and you end up with a Grand National title, that is legendary status. Again, a lot on the line here, and you can see the joy and the emotion when Miles talks to them in the winner's circle. Tonight's national event is brought to you by Steiner Tractor Parts, Hoganics, and Beck's Hybrids.
Grandstand side, we see Chase Smith, Greenwich, Ohio, with what called outclass. Here again, 6,200 modified. You look, you say, there's room for more power plant. Yes, there is. This is the way he gets down to 6,200. .364. 364.84. That's 2 full pulls in a row.
Well, and those two cats right there, they're sitting on top of the points parade. Here's another guy that's always in the chase for points that don't ask, right? Brad Hart out of Michigan, running for a Grand National points. He comes to play every single time he hooks up. .326.225. 326.225. And that's Brad Hart right now, who will take the early lead. Pulling fans, you can enter the Steiner Tractor Parts $500 shopping spree sweepstakes at all NTPA events. Go to ntpapull.com or locate the Steiner sign and scan the QR code to enter. Good luck to everyone. Since 1977, Steiner Tractor Parts selling new parts for old tractors. John Benzig up next. New Prague, Minnesota, the wasted wages on our super farm side.
Todd Pice out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, the Snow Farmer. The Snow Farmer makes his way out onto the track right now. He's going to be our third. He's the husband of a later arrival, Terry Pice. She'll be up in just a bit. Coming out of Lawrenceburg. Operated the Perfect North Slopes ski area for many, many years. Still very, very actively involved with that. Out checking things over as they watch Todd back in to get hooked up. Wayne Sullivan will follow, then Johnny Payne and Bradley Rolando, Adam Revere and Terry Pice, Michelle Phipps, and Les Corporal, our class of 10 light modifieds here this evening. Another full pull.
Here comes the wasted wages. John Benzic. And that Oliver 2150 giving it all it has. Beautiful looking tractor there. Love to see the Olivers coming out and playing. So John's made a very good pass to put in the books. 3:19.7. 3:19.7. That'll put him right now in about third. Evidently, we have an oil leak there. Take a look at the replay on the modified side, the light mods. Covered in oil. Evidently, an oil leak right out of maybe the left front engine. And evidently, we hear from our trackside crew that he is literally covered in oil. Our Grand National Light Modifieds tonight, GMS Manufacturing and Machine, headquartered in Butler County, Ohio. The company continues the tradition begun by Gene Schreiber way back in 1999. GMS produces hundreds of parts for competitive tractor pulling teams all around the world. You want to learn more about their custom manufacturing and machining? Visit gms-parts.com. GMS Manufacturing Machine, proud sponsor of our Grand National Light Modifieds. Look at this guy, he's dancing. Not even the music. What's your deal? You need something? Full pull? You having a good time? You're having a good time. Awesome. All right. Go sit down. There you go.
Those full pull stickers are going to be very popular in this class, I think, because we have 3 now that are going to be awarded by Hot Shot Secrets for their full pull. Now, in science, you know, that's the way these things work, and we'll get those presented to them as well. 355, 364, and 357, a class of 10. Wayne Sullivan with the Kentuckian up next.
What do you bet this guy goes past 350? I mean, you've never gambled before? You know,
yeah,
he may not make it. I don't know.
Okay, we'll see which one of us is right.
Yeah. We'll know. We'll know very, very shortly here. The Sullivan clan coming up to play. And when they play, they go for one position. That's numero uno. And they've done it. The Kentuckian, in one form or another, has been all over our great land. And if you went back and looked at all the stats, official or unofficial, NTPA or not, this guy has a ton of wins. One great thing you can look back is they kind of pay that heritage. That front end is so recognizable in the world of pulling. The paint may have changed over the years, but behind it, the engineering, and especially the old boy sitting there in the seat, has done a pretty darn good job of making sure when they roll out of the Bluegrass State, One thing's on their mind, cash in the big check. Looks like that rookie would have taken my money.
Yeah. I mean, when you're on the brakes, you lost your momentum. You heard it pull down, and he was done.
But
Wayne Sullivan with it started to the right. It drifted, and he couldn't pull it back quick enough.
And prior to that, he was on a tear. Front end, weight, perfect all the way around. You don't have to even question the horsepower. But that's why we hook him to the sled.
That's right. 311, 6 1/4, 311 with a 625 to the right for Wayne Sullivan. Johnny Payne will be up next.
Black Stallion has the green flag right now out of Granton, Wisconsin. In this case, Dennis Jacoby. Getting close to that chalk line, but making it work. This track we've seen, no matter what the class, has a tendency to kind of slope downhill towards the pit side. 329.330. 329.330. Our new leader in the class, Case fans and everyone else, put your hands together. Dennis has set the flag out there with the distance to beat. Take a look at the replay here. As you see, wheels are up perfectly. Perfect. And that's all. We've got another replay coming your way just to see exactly what's going on. That. And there's your winning run right there, 329 and 3, as he pulls the throttle back. Miles Krieger standing by with a very special guest.
Yeah, so we're getting to be with Marvin Epperson. In between these sessions, he gets to take very little break. We're working hard on the track, sir. What do you think so far?
Well, I tell you what, this afternoon was really good. Track's getting consistent. It's really good now because they're starting to kill the super farms. The right away